Welcome. Bill here, Detroit Commercial Photo and Video, and it is Friday. We're at week 11, I think now, 12, 11. Man, the time is going by. We're really knocking them down, and this is going to all be put together in the end as one great series, because that's what we're doing. We're creating a series, and the series is called Tips in Hiring a Professional Photographer. So the next time comes that you need to hire a professional photographer, whether it be for a wedding, or whether it be for an event, or whether it be for a product or food or whatever, you'll have some idea of the kind of things that you might want to talk on. And today what we're talking about is money. When should you ask how much? Big question. We're going to get into that in 2 seconds, okay? First and foremost, if you haven't joined before, welcome. If this is your first time seeing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you. What I'd like you to do is hit that little button over there that says subscribe. That's all. Hit subscribe, because we put out one of these virtually every single week. And every single week we put out another one, all designed to help. So I'd appreciate it if you would go ahead and hit the subscribe button, and you'll appreciate it even more, okay? All right, so let's get on to the subject at hand. Specifically is, when should I ask about the price? And that is a near to impossible question to ask. To answer, why is it so difficult? Because it totally depends on the conversation. Probably about the only time that you wouldn't want to ask that is when you call them up on the phone and the person answers the phone, and the first question out of your mouth is, and I've heard this 1,000 times, is, how much is an 8x10? That's probably the worst question you could ask, and the worst time in the world that you can ask it, because the odds is there's no way this fellow can or will give you that number at that point in time, because he don't know. It depends a lot on what the circumstances in the situation is, okay? You got a wedding, okay, and you're going to have, hundreds of pictures, okay, and they're going to be made and the photographer's going to make prints and albums. It's going to be one thing. If it's going to be for a 5-minute shoot someplace, okay, where you're going to meet, set it up, 5-minute shoot, boom, you're out of there kind of thing, it's probably going to be a whole different price. Why? Because there's not the volume of work, yet it takes up hours to prepare and time afterwards to do what needs to be done afterwards. So it's going to be a whole lot more in that case, okay? Even though the time to do the shoot was much less. You have to remember the photography, and people just can't get over it. It's like preparing a good Christmas, Thanksgiving, great meal. Spend 3-4 hours in the kitchen, sometimes more, okay? Preparing all these beautiful food, okay? Then everybody comes over and sits down at the table. In 10 minutes, it's gone, okay? Everybody's done, okay? So 4 hours to create and 10 minutes to do. Photography is much the same way. Generally, if we have to put up a little set up a little studio, it's an hour and a half, okay? And then to do the actual photography, 5, 10, 15 minutes, okay? Just depends, okay? So the photography isn't the thing. It's setting all up and then tearing it all down, depending on the situation, okay? If you got several hundred, then it'll be a different story. Keep in mind that everything is predicated on volume, okay? And no photographer out there is doing 5,000 images, okay? Now, I've had one person say to me in the past, they said, well, gee, Bill, how is it that my kids' school, man, those pictures are cheap, okay? Well, yeah, because he's photographing the whole school, okay? And he's selling 1,500 packages perhaps, okay, But if he's selling 1 or 2 packages, the prices are going to be a lot higher, okay? It's not unusual for prices to be higher like at a daycare than a whole middle school kind of thing. It's going to be a whole different world. One case you're photographing thousands of kids, the other one's you're photographing a few, 20, 25 kids at the most kind of thing, 30 kids. So everything is in relation to one another. So once you ask about the price, you meet with your photographer or your videographer, if that be the case, okay, and you've hammered out, everybody knows what's going to happen and how long it's going to take, okay, and where it's going to be done, okay, and how much of it's going to be. Then if he doesn't tell you the price, you need to find out what's this going to cost me, okay, because you need to know, okay, you really do need to know, okay. So everything's in relation to one another. There is no right answer. There is no wrong answer. The only wrong answer, I guess I could say, is if you're one of those folks that calls me up and I answer the phone, photo studio, and you say, how much is an 8x10? That's the wrong question to ask at that point in time. And no, you're probably not going to get an answer that you're really thrilled with at that point in time, okay? Because quite frankly, I don't know at that point, okay? So that remains to be seen as to what exactly it's going to be. So that's our post for today. So keep in mind, ask the question, but don't ask the question until you've got the information all laid out in front of you so that you know what you're going to get. Then he can give you a price, or you can ask for your price if he doesn't offer it to you. And that's that. Next week, okay? Next week, question is, it's a fair question, okay? Do you have a backup photographer? Now, we touched on that some time ago, okay? To touch on it a little bit. We're going to get into it a little bit more. Backup photographer, okay? So we're going to touch base on that. The week after that is, do you have backup equipment? And that's a huge one, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, that is a big one. You're going to want to really listen to that one, okay? In the meantime, let me get my bearings. Let's get right up here, okay? All right? At the end of this video, you're going to see a little thing that's going to say tips on hiring a professional photographer, the series, and you click on that, and that will take you back to the very first one of these that we did 10, 11 weeks ago, and you can re-see them all, one after the next to get up to speed kind of thing. So I encourage you to do that as well. We're going to put a little thing up there. And once again, if you haven't, subscribe. If you got a comment, leave a comment. Appreciate it very much. And of course, any thoughts that you may have about an upcoming series or something that you're wondering about, please leave a comment below and we'll answer you just as soon as possible, usually within a day or so. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye now.